Various ministries in Nigeria have new people in charge. As the 45-man cabinet of President Bola Tinubu have resumed work, all the attention will be on how the ministers will turn around each sector assigned to them. There is no doubt that the aviation sector will be heavily scrutinized, and all eyes will be on Festus Keyamo, who was sworn in as the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development. Stakeholders in the aviation sector have set the agenda for the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo, SAN. They advised him to focus on reviewing the nation's bilateral air service agreement, BASA, to make them more mutually beneficial. Former General Secretary of the Aviation Roundtable and Safety Initiative, Group Captain John Ojikutu, retired, also advised the minister against interfering in regulatory functions of Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA. So joining us now on the show to discuss expectations of the new minister, what his agenda should be, and also the challenges, prospects, and opportunity in the sector is Professor Obiora Okonkwo, OFR, spokesperson, Airline Operators of Nigeria, and Chairman United Nigerian Airlines. Welcome to the show. Great to see you once again, Professor Okonkwo. Can I call you Zikora? Is it fair to call you that? Good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right on the point there. Thank you. Good
Zikora.
to see you again. Yeah.
Zikora himself
but I can only hear you. Yes,
okay.
Yes, I'm the...
All right, so
that's me.
let's go straight to it this morning. What would you say should be the agenda as regards, one, bilateral air service agreements, which is a very big issue on ground as we speak? Secondly, a lot of these foreign airlines, the way they try to muscle out our local airlines, we all know the episode we've had with Dubai and airlines coming out of Dubai, Emirates and the likes. You know, that can also segue into their argument that, it's difficult for them to remit their cash and the business environment. What would you say as regards that? And as you set this agenda for Honorable Minister of Aviation?
Well, thank you very much. It's good to be back here with you, Rufai. I think there are a whole lot happening in the aviation industry. And I'll go straight to the point. The government has to recognize that this should be enlisted as one of the essential industries. We are looking at agriculture. We are looking at road transport. Aviation should be considered as one of them because it's just another means of transport. If there is a day or two you cannot fly to any part of Nigeria, everything will come to a standstill. It's come to a point they have to know that it is no more for the rich. It is a means of travel for everybody, not minding, even if all the roads are there, even all the railways are there, even other means of transportations are well developed by water or anything. Like in the developed world, aviation still plays critical role in economic development. So as the new minister comes in, we want him to recognize this as such and then treat it with all the necessary attention. We've just talked about volatile and then toxic business environment. Aviation is most affected because it's one of the businesses. You earn all your money in Naira as a local operator, but you require about 90% of your earning to be used to keep the aircraft flying in the air. And that means you need dollar. You and I know the issues going on with the dollar today. There are some members, to tell you how bad it is, maybe break it down a little bit. There are some of our operators who have $10 million, $15 million US dollars, even United Nigeria Airlines, couple of millions of dollars, stocked in the bank since last year. We bid there for foreign exchange. We had our Naira provided for. We had our location in a forward process confirmed. Since August up to today, we don't have Naira, we don't have dollar. Nobody knows about it, nobody's talking about it. Some people borrow this money from the bank. A friend of mine had just had about 14 million US dollars stock in the bank since 2016. He's paying for his aircraft that he purchased. We're going through a lot. So, talking about BASA, the BASA for us operators locally here, we are ready to take advantage of our BASA agreements. United Nigeria Airline, for one, has written to fly to New York, to London, and other major cities of the world. we need a minister who will now put his foot down and demand that when we write to the CA of UK and they don't reply us in 1 month, there's no need for British Airways to be in Nigeria. If we want to fly to America and we don't get a response from the CEO of America, there's no need for United Airline of America to be in Nigeria. But obviously for that to happen, we need to be supported. We need to be equipped with the necessary equipment and aircraft that will make that trip. I've always said in this studio that it is easier to fly international, to fly 5, 6, 10 hours flight than fly locally up and down within 45 minutes. So I think that with a new minister that is coming in with attention to all this should know that what he's going to achieve, that is going to open another area of foreign exchange earning for the country, is going to open another area for the source of GDP. So many countries where the aviation is vibrant, aviation industry, they contribute between 5 to 10% of their GDP. Turkey is one of them. Ethiopia is almost 60% of their GDP. We can do that. Before the COVID, the statistics are there. The aviation sector was the third largest contributor to GDP. And we're talking about a country of over 200 million, where we have only 10% of us flying today. Could you imagine if this is developed and we have about 20-30% flying in the next 4 years of this administration? That's going to be huge. And then we've talked about these foreign airlines twisting us and squeezing us. You know, Rufai, what you hear sometimes is just how much we are owing them, which today may be about $1 billion US. You don't know about how much they have been paid. If they are owed $1 billion, they probably have been paid $5 billion US. And 95% of these funds are money spent by Nigerians living here or living overseas. It is not like for tourists. This is not a tourist destination as you know. So if the Nigerian local operators are supported to be fully capitalized, yes, and the equipment made available, oh man, 50 to 60% of this money can be retained in Nigeria. Right. The foreign exchange component paid from overseas can be in our accounts. We don't have to put pressure to the government to give us money to buy our spare parts and maintain the aircraft. Actually, it could form a substantial part of the I&E window of foreign exchange. Right, these things are very, very crucial. And yes. Yeah,
let's talk about other crucial things. And thank you very much for laying that foundation, because you have identified some pertinent issues and challenges in the aviation industry. But let's look at some other operational challenges. The high cost of aviation fuel, one of them. Multiple taxation, another. And then, of course, translating to higher fare prices, it's become, as you already identified, quite difficult for Nigerians to fly within Nigeria before we even, talk about going outside of the country. Those are some of the concerns I'd like you to look at, perhaps give recommendations or suggestions, and then safety concerns. In the last administration, we had some airlines being sanctioned or even grounded at some point because of safety concerns. How can the minister help to make this better, to improve the conditions in the industry?
Well, for the minister, like you have said from the intro, the minister should look into the regulatory agency. I think the team we have now headed by the DG know they are doing excellent work. It is normal in industry that an airline is a kind of stopped to look into any concern. This may not necessarily be that there is any concern, any real concern for safety, but at any slightest suspicion, that's the procedure. And then if it's clear, they have to fly. I am very proud to let you know that our air is safe. Regulatory system and the people involved are tight. The current minister should not interfere with regulation. We had a very terrible past where even regulatory employees and CA in recent development we're given employment letters from Federal Minister of Aviation. That's absurd. That's unacceptable. So let the regulatory system remain. Look into the latest appointment that were made before the end of the last administration, and ensure that they were not done for any other ulterior motives. Yes, traveling locally here, the tickets, if you think tickets are expensive, then you probably may be one of those who do not appreciate the patriotic and sacrifices made by local operators. If we have to charge the fares the way the costs are changing every day, you should be paying not less than 250,000 naira to fly from Lagos to Abuja. I can tell you, and I've said it in this studio, from December last year till up to March, May of this year, there is no airline who may be losing minimum of $2 million every month. We're doing that because you know how the economy works. The Naira swap, the election, the uncertainties, the poor economic activities. Well, the only option we had would have been to shut down the air. And when you do, you could be accused of economic sabotage or even coup d'etat because it was an election year. We absorb those things, and we wish Nigerians sometimes we know about this. That's why I'm saying it, that sometimes you, please, when you're going to the airport to fly, go with roses. It could be red, it could be white, it doesn't matter, and give to any, from the ground crew to the operators, the cabin crew, who have absorbed a whole lot. Look, for instance, hello, yes, please.
I totally understand where you're coming from, because we also speak with other airline operators and we know the sacrifices you have to make to ensure that prices are down. So that's why I'm asking you that what can the ministry, what can the minister do to make running business in the aviation industry better so that it can translate to better fares for Nigerians? That's what I'm asking you.
Oh, great. Wonderful. I know Arise and knew you are great people and you appreciate all that. They have to work with other agencies of government to rid the sector of speculators. Could you imagine that we were planning new fleet that are supposed to be coming in from next month? At the point we started making our financials, fuel was about 600, 650. We said worst case scenario, make it 700. Naira was about 600, 700. Worst case scenario, 800. 1 month after, with 950 Naira, you are chasing $1. If you need 1 million, you might not even see it in 1 month. Fuel from 650 to 850 within 2 months. So, and we believe that these things are artificial. I've said it and I continue to say it. There is no reason, no matter the international price of crude oil, that fuel should be delivered, aviation fuel should be delivered to the pump, the aircraft, for more than 500 Naira. Everything you see on top of it are speculators. And I'm calling out on NMPC staff to let this country free. Even the Naira. Yes, maybe, but I don't want to challenge any government intention and their decision. Today we have one window for the foreign exchange. There is no reason why Naira should be 950 Naira. Even within this one window, we should be getting Naira at 600 Naira. There are speculators. It may not be entirely the responsibility of the minister, but he has to look and work with other government agencies and government ministries to fish out the bad eggs within the system, because these people doing all these things harm are not my village people or your village people. They are people who are in the system. We talk with the marketers. The marketers are worried. They spend a whole lot of money before they should assess this product, and those money are unnecessary. They are money that are built in, we pay, and the passengers bear the blunt. If we don't have a better pricing system where we should have better rate for dollar, better rate for aviation fuel, and the operators, if we have to continue surviving in Nigerian airspace, there should be no ticket at least you should pay for less than 150,000 naira. We don't want that to happen because it will add to the economic burden of the people. It will slow down the aviation business, and then it will have a multiplier effect in the whole our own ecosystem. Okay. So we really think that the minister should bottle up, roll his sleeves, and go to war with those bad eggs that are polluting the system. We still believe in the viability and of this industry, and we're ready to go all the hog. Like I said, we call ourselves the new breed operators who are extremely patriotic and ready to give a fight to those who are obstacles. Yeah.
All right, Prof. Let me say well done and congratulations with all the, well, maybe congratulations is not the word that should be used. It should be a round of applause to all the airline operators for the incredible work that you're doing, especially in an economy like ours. Just this weekend, a very good friend of mine, a young man.
God bless you. This is the first time we are hearing this accolade. God bless you.
I know, because I travel a lot. And I will come to the point I want to make. A very good friend of mine, Elvis Apobi, they are in Liberia today. As at the weekend, I was talking to them. They were taking 100 young people to a conference that is called Young Political Leadership School Africa to develop young Nigerians and young Africans to take up political power. They're in Liberia, but flying from Lagos, they had to go through Ghana to get to Liberia. This is within the same continent. A journey that should have been direct flight within an hour or two, they are having to spend like 6 hours to go from Lagos to Liberia. Now, what can the minister do to make it impossible for this kind of waste of human time or productive time being wasted? But before you answer that question, let me take you back to my experience many years ago. And it's not like many years ago. I'm talking of within the last 10 years. I remember that every single time, and it's numerous times that I've had to fly, every single time I fly Lagos to London, once upon a time, I will fly Arik and I will pay in Naira from Lagos to London. Every single time I'm flying Lagos to New York, I will fly and make sure that that is the same thing in Naira. What is a suggestion from airline operator to make sure, if it is Air Peace or United Air, that the government will support to make sure that you can fly anywhere in the world and we pay in Naira and reduce the spend to United, to Delta, to British Air and all the other international airlines that we pay dollars to, so that we conserve our dollars.
Well, thank you very much. Your observations are very, very practical. This is not about minister performing magic, but it's about working with the local operators who have met all the requirements to fly internationally, and the key major requirement is being IOSA certified. If you have IOSA certification, that means you have been found fit to fly to any part of the world, maintaining all the safety rules. What next do you need? You need the right equipment. Most of these equipments that we're supposed to have are supposed to be made available at very, very good condition. Even us, the operators, within our own expansion plans, we're able to fit into these things without even any government headache if there is consistent policy. Air Peace has over 35 aircrafts. Today, 50% of them are not flying. Not because they don't have money, but their money is stuck in the bank. They can't get foreign exchange to service these aircraft. Maintenance is very, very important for safety. All those rules you talked about, you are right. My daughter studies in one of the schools in Abuja. They have to go to Ghana for some UN event sometime, not long. 45 minutes flight. She had to leave the airport here by 7 o'clock. They passed through Togo. They didn't get to Ghana until 7 in the evening. That's crazy. We can do that. We need equipment. You cannot provide this equipment. You know, there are 3 ways you can own equipment before you fly. Either you do what they call a CMI, that you lease the aircraft with the crew, maintenance and everything is available, and you pay for certain hours every month. You need to have access to foreign exchange to pay as at window, or you owe this aircraft fully. Even if you owe it by yourself, you are supposed to be setting aside certain amount of foreign exchange on every hour flight you make to be able to maintain it and keep it safe in the air. Or the other way could be dry lease. The dry lease is a situation where you own the aircraft, you maintain, you put the crew and all that. Each and every one of them requires timely remittances of certain amount of money. We've lost all our credibility. The lessors and partners and vendors overseas will tell you, look, we know you're a great guy, we know you are passionate, we know you want to pay, but you don't. Your credit rating in this country is not good enough. So not many people are ready to give you SMI, because once you've had, they are not meeting your obligations. You have naira, you can't convert it to dollar. You are converting it to dollar, you can't have dollar, you can't have naira. So the solution to this is about ministerial understanding that we need a special window in the phone with CBN to access foreign exchange. There is no way anybody should be worried that there should be round tripping in aviation industry, because you either go there with your Form M or your Form A. The vendors, the beneficiaries of the money you are getting are there. They could be MROs, maintenance organizations, they could be vendors, and the documents are coming in Nigeria, and you are seeing them. The lease agreements are signed. They are registered with the NCA. They are registered with government agencies. They are at window. So let even them start by saying, what are your monthly obligations? We can put it on the table, most of the operators. Make it available to us. If they can, it will be easier for us if they have to make available special capital we can access on a single digit. I repeat, this is a private business. We don't need government grant. We don't need free money from government. We can run our business. We know we have the experience, and as soon as that is done, we will have aircrafts all over. And this problem in the region can only be solved by Nigeria. No other regional country can do that.
Okay.
And I think that the minister it's not a ministry affair, but it's a support with the operators.
A support with the operator. Thank you very much. On that note, Professor Okonkwo, thank you very much. We're really appreciative of the work that you're doing for the nation.